All right, so I want to just review what we learned last class for the slope-intercept form. This is a very specific form, which is also known as y is equal to mx plus b. What does the letter m stand for? Good, this is our slope. And what does the letter b stand for? It's the y-intercept. And whenever you have a y-intercept, what are the coordinates? Yeah, 0, comma, whatever the number is over here. There are multiple ways we've learned how to figure out slope. If you have a graph, how do you figure out slope? Good, so we're gonna use rise over run. If you have 2 points, how do you figure out slope? Good, and you're gonna need to know the formula for today's quest. And then the third way to figure out slope is if I give you this formula, you're literally just reading the number that comes in front of the x. Good. Okay, so let's look at this sheet. We'll do a couple of questions. Question number 1A says, or number 1 says, rewrite each line in y-intercept form. So they want you to rearrange it to write it in y is equal to mx plus b form. So question number 1, what I'm going to do is I am going to keep the negative y on one side, and I'll move the 3x to the other side. So I'll get negative 3x plus 7. And then in order for me to get rid of the negative 1, I can divide every single one of those numbers by negative 1, or I can multiply all of those numbers by negative 1. So either way works. Let's say I multiply everything by negative 1. I'm going to get y is equal to 3x minus 7. Did you guys get that as an answer? Great. Okay, let's try question letter B. For question B, we have 2x minus 5y plus 10 is equal to 0. So again, you want the y to stay on the left-hand side. You want to move everything else over to the right-hand side. So I'm going to have negative 5y is equal to, and I know my equal signs aren't lining up. It's because I don't have enough room because I'm using this pen, but hopefully yours are lining up a little bit better. I move the 2x over, I get negative 2x. I move the positive 10 over, and I get negative 10. And then in order for me to get rid of the negative 5, I am going to divide every single term here by negative 5. So negative 5 divided by negative 5 is just a y. Can we divide negative? Can we divide negative 2 by negative 5? No, so we keep it as a fraction and it'll just be 2 over 5x. Can we divide negative 10 by negative 5? Yeah, and we'll get positive 2. So our answer there would just be positive 2. You got it right. Good job. Question C. Question C is interesting because look, it doesn't even have an x value, but that's okay. We can still make this into y is equal to mx plus b. I'm going to keep the y on this side, and then I'm going to move the 7 over. This is kind of like saying y is equal to 0x plus 7. So when there is no x there, you're just assuming that it's a 0, and actually you don't even need to write it down. So y is equal to 7 is perfectly correct, and that's in proper y is equal to mx plus b form. Okay, what about question D? Can we change question D to y is equal to mx plus b? There's no y. Yeah, you actually definitely need to have a y in order to change something to y is equal to mx plus b. So this is just going to be not possible. Okay, take a look at questions E and G. I have the solutions there already, so double check your work to see if you got those right. Just going to move this over so I have a little bit more room. Sure, or not undefined because they're not asking you for a value of it. They're just saying, can you rearrange it? And you just can't possibly rearrange it. Okay, we'll do a couple more. Let's try question F. So for question F, I am going to I'm going to keep the 2y on the left-hand side. I'll move the 5x over to the other side. I'll move the negative 7 over to the other side. And then what am I going to divide every single term by to get rid of the 2? Good, so it's going to be 2, 2, and 2. 2 divided by 2 is just a 1. Can't divide this, so it's negative 5 over 2x, and this is just going to be positive 7 over 2. Question number 2 says, state the slope of each line. Now for this question, they're secretly telling you to convert it to y is equal to mx plus b, and then they're asking you to just read off whatever number is in front of the x. So for example, for this one, I would go negative 5y is equal to negative 2x. And then I would just divide every single side by negative 5. And so it would be y is equal to 2 over 5x. And it's kind of like saying plus 0. You don't have to write the 0, but your y-intercept is just going to be a 0. So in this question, what is the slope equal to? Yeah, it's just whatever the number is in front of the x. So it would just be 2 over 5. Can I get a volunteer to do the next one? Yeah, question B. Abisha, go ahead. Sorry, question 2B? Yeah. So you're just moving the 4x. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And then you've rearranged it. So what's the slope? Yeah, it would just be m is equal to negative 4. You got it. Good job. Question C, I have already done. So when I rearranged it, I got y is equal to 3 over 7x minus 2. And so we can write down, therefore, the slope is just 3 over 7. How about question D? Do we need to really do anything for question D? No, it is already rearranged. So what is the slope in this question? Negative 1 over 3. Okay, can I get a volunteer to do question E? Yoda, go ahead. Minus 3? Yep. Yep. Y is equal to 5 over 4x plus 3 over 4. Yep. And so when you do this, sorry, just write that again. What did you get for your actual slope? Y is equal to 5 over 4x plus 3 over 4. So what did you get for your slope? 5 over 4. And then for the last question, we have, this one was a little bit trickier. So just take a look at it. I multiplied everything by the number 12, which was the magic number. That gave me negative 4x plus 24y minus 9 is equal to 0. I moved the negative 4x and negative 9 over to the other side. I divided everything by 24, and I ended up getting y is equal to 1 over 6x plus 9 over 24. So in this question, it appears that my slope is 1 over 6. Yeah. Now, this question could have also asked you for the y-intercept, in which case, again, you would change everything to y is equal to mx plus b, and then you would just read the number that is the constant. So the first example would be 0. This would be positive 12, negative 2, negative 5, 3 over 4, and then 9 over 24. Any questions about this? You guys okay with it? Yeah, okay. There'll be a couple of questions where you're going to have to rearrange and answer stuff. So this is good practice. Let's go to question 3. You can check your work, but I'll just explain how to do these questions. So for question number 3, what you're going to do is first, I know you have a photocopy of it, so it was probably like kind of hard to see the letters. I find that it's a little bit easier when it's color coded like this. But basically, when it says question A, you're looking for line A. And so in this case, it's that red line that is going from here to here. And in all of these questions, to figure out slope, you're finding 2 points on the line and you're doing rise over run. So for example, question? Yeah, of course. So for example, I could have picked this point and this point, and then I know I can see that my rise is 1 unit and my run is 2 units, so 1 over 2. And because the line is going down, you just add a negative. That's really important. Make sure you don't forget that. So the slope was -0.5, and then the y-intercept is wherever the line is going through the y-axis. So in this case, it was just 8 or 0,8. And then literally you take your slope and your y-intercept, you glue everything together to get y is equal to -0.5x plus 8. For question B, I got a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of -8. Did you guys get that as well? Yep, so y is equal to 2x minus 8. Question C, I got a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of 1. So you can see that in this area right here. I picked those 2 points. Does it matter what 2 points you pick? No, it doesn't matter. You can pick 2 points really far apart. Once you reduce the fraction, we will all get the same fraction. So for this one, when I did rise over run, I can see that my rise is 2 units and my run is 3 units. And the line is going up. So it was a slope of positive 2/3. The y-intercept is a 1, so it was 2/3x plus 1. Any questions about these questions? Were you guys okay with them there? Yeah, that's fine. You can write 0,8, 0,-8. That's fine. For question 4, it says it gives you the slope, it gives you the y-intercept. So it's sort of like the easier version of the question you did above. You slap on the slope with the x, you put the y-intercept in the back, and so that's how you get your equation. That's a pretty easy question to do. And then I actually should have told you to skip question 5C, and it's because a y-intercept of -0.5 is like kind of in between lines. So I didn't want you to deal with that. There won't be anything like that on the quest. But the rest of the questions are really straightforward. So I'll walk you through those. Y is equal to 2/3x minus 4. That means there's a y-intercept of -4, and our starting point on the graph is going to be at -4. A slope of 2/3, we have to look at both scenarios. So 2/3 or -2/-3. If the slope is 2/3, it means you're going up 2, 3 to the right, up 2, 3 to the right, up 2, 3 to the right. And then the other option is down 2, 3 to the left, down 2, 3 to the left. So you graph your line, and this is what you get. Yoda? Yes, because I want to see both sides of the line. Yeah. Vision? Not for this question. For this question, yeah, I would want to see where your triangles are. So like, sorry, it's coming for that question. Yeah, I want to see what 2 points you've chosen. You don't have to show me the work. Like you don't have to do rise over run unless the question asks for it. But I definitely want to see on your line what 2 points you're picking. Yeah. Good morning. For question B, I have a y-intercept of 3. So 3 over here, and then a slope of -0.5 can be rewritten as 1 over -2 as well. Emily? Just because this part of the unit had the drawing a line part, after this quest, if you just wanted to do like 2 points and draw the line, that's fine. But for this quest, I want to see that you know how to do both sides. And then question C was interesting because it was y is equal to 4x. Technically, if nothing is written there, it's like saying plus 0. So that means the y-intercept is 0. Your line is starting at the origin, which is 0, 0. And then a slope of 4 means it's 4/1 or -4 over -1. So you're going to go up 4, 1 to the right, or down 4, 1 to the left. You're going to connect your points. A couple of things to remember not to lose easy marks on. Make sure you're using a ruler or a straight edge. Make sure you have arrows on both sides, and make sure you always label your lines with the proper equation. Any questions about this? It doesn't matter. Yeah, anywhere on the line. I did also give you some textbook questions, but you can try those on your own. Are you guys okay with this topic? We're feeling kind of confident? Okay. So I'm going to stop this right here.